Do you want to grow your own saffron and you think that because you don't live in the Mediterranean, you can't grow it? Well, lucky for you, if you live in zone 6 and above, you can grow saffron as a perennial in your garden. And it's actually very simple. You plant it once and you can let it grow for about 4 years before you actually have to do any more work. So in the first year, you need to get the corms. And this is a saffron corm. It's Saffron crocus. Crocus sativus is the variety of corm you want to get. And this is just the bulb of the saffron plant that will produce the flowers and the stigmas, which is the saffron. And you're basically going to plant these in the late summer for your first year, about 4 inches deep and 4 inches apart. And for the metric system, that's going to work out to about 10 or so centimeters. So just give them some space, and then you'll get your first harvest of saffron a few weeks later in the fall. And where I live in zone 6, it's usually about the first 2 weeks of October, but it'll vary based on your climate and the temperatures of the season. And I would recommend planting these corms in a raised bed or something easy to access, because after 4 years of growing, you're going to want to dig them up and spread them apart so they don't get overcrowded. And after the first year, you don't need to cut off the stems or anything. It will die back on its own in the winter. And then in the spring, you want to make sure that you keep them watered about 1 inch of water per week, because in the spring is when the corms will reproduce more corms. So they'll produce more and more. So you want to make sure you are giving them some water to facilitate that growth. And then over the summer, you don't have to do anything because they will go dormant. And then as you get into the late summer, early fall, you want to make sure you're watering them again about 1 inch per week. And then you'll get a prized saffron spice, the 3 red stigmas that grow out of the purple saffron crocus flowers. And if you live in a colder climate, say zone 4, zone 5, you can still grow saffron. It's just going to require a little bit more work and planning. If you grow them in a pot and just move the pot inside before the winter, they should stay alive for next season when you bring them out in the springtime. And you can keep doing that over and over, and then eventually you'll have to dig them up and spread them apart just like you would in a raised bed or in the ground. So you can basically grow saffron in any climate. It just depends how bad you want to grow it and how much effort you want to put in. If you live in zone 6 and above, it's very easy to just get some corms, plant them, and then grow it as a perennial. And then every 4 years, dig it up and spread it out and get more and more saffron every year exponentially until you don't know what to do with it. But this is just for home gardening on a small scale to grow saffron for your kitchen. I hope you found this helpful. If you need any more help, just leave me a comment. Have a great day. Bye.